I want to ask you about U.S. chip tensions with China. How does that impact your business and particularly your ability to get the chips you need?
Well, so far we actually been complying with all the rules and regulations. I think there is no, material impact to our business. As I said, I think we've been actually, following all the rules and regulations in respective countries. And again, I think for us, in terms of running a global business, I think that is always the challenges that we need to deal with. I think if you really look at the Lenovo profile, in fact, China accounts for about 25–30%. I think the other region, Asia Pacific, EMEA, America, I think apart from the decline in the market, for example, like PC, which I think if you read IDC number dropping about 20%, all our other businesses in different parts of the world continue to grow. So at the moment, I think we are just dealing with the challenges because of the geopolitical issues.
All right, you mentioned IDC. According to IDC, you have about 22% of the global market, so you are the leader right now. However, in these IDC reports, we continue to see big year-over-year declines. Your forecast, however, is for an increase in the second half of the year. Where are you seeing that's giving you this kind of confidence? Because in 2020 and 2021, a lot of people bought PCs. Right. Those PCs are still relatively new.
Right. I think the level of confidence is obviously based on based on data. I think you obviously look at, the IDC forecast, which primarily measure shipments. But at the same time, we also have data, measuring activation of the machine, meaning someone actually, because when a machine shipped to a distributor, it sits in the distributor. Now, the real demand is actually the end customer buying that PC and then activate. We actually see the activation rates. I think the decline is not as significant as the shipment. I think partly because there are a lot more shipment, during the last 1 or 2 years because of COVID-19, because of component shortage, and therefore the channel been actually having more, stocking the products, ready for shipment. Now, the underlying activation demand, based on our own data, which is actually even higher than the pre-COVID level. I think that's the reason for us to have the confidence that over the next over the last, I would say, few quarters, we actually see channel inventory, coming down and really digesting the excess shipment that was shipped during the COVID or in the beginning of the COVID period. So we believe that the activation rate gives us a more realistic estimate of the likely demand. Now, the key that also help us to have the confidence, is the acceleration of the digitalization. I think you heard a lot about AT, ChatGPT. All this actually require devices. I think if you were, with the conference just now, our colleagues, Luca, actually explained, the AI does not necessarily just give significant demand in the infrastructure, because you actually need a device to use the leverage the AI, and therefore we also see that this is also positive news, on the devices.